We're focusing on your greenside shots, and you've told us that your main issue is strike related, and more specifically, you tend to hit the ball towards the toe of the club. Now, on a positive note, the toe of the club isn't a terrible place to hit the ball, and you can actually play reasonably successful short game shots from there. But as a general rule, we would like the middle of the club face. Now, it's best to think of the solution to this problem as being a skill-based solution, as opposed to us having a technical issue. And what we mean by that is, there's going to be no need to rebuild our golf swing, or even change a major aspect of it. We simply want to improve one of the skills of our swing. And that skill is controlling how far away from us the club is going to be when it arrives at impact. If we have a slightly closer look at that, setting up out the middle of the club face and then hitting the ball out of the toe means that we will have moved the club closer to us from setup to impact. This means the distance between us and the club has been reduced. If you look at the opposite, which would be hitting the heel, the distance between us and the club will have increased from setup to impact, and that's what's put the ball out of the heel of the club. So it's our ability to control the distance between us and the club that will determine our success in hitting the middle of the club face. Of course, you have a tendency, which is to hit the toe, so we need to work away from that. We have a tee here on the ground, just to the inside of the golf ball, and that's going to be our feedback. You can see here that if I line the ball up with the toe of the club, the heel of the club will knock the tee away. So when we're playing our shots, it's going to be as much in our focus to miss the tee as it is going to be hitting the golf shot. To start with, take the setup that you would use for the shot that you've got in front of you, and making some practice swings, again using the same length of swing that you will need for this shot, we want to take the club back, bring it down to the ball and pause just before impact. And the idea here initially is to start with the ball in the middle of the club face, but pause with the ball lined up out of the heel of the club. And this means you've increased the distance between you and the club, which is the opposite to what you're generally doing when you're hitting the ball out of the toe. Of course, if you did this when you were hitting shots, you would be hitting the ball out of the heel of the club. But in the short term, this isn't a major issue. It shows that the improvement that you want is happening, it's just been exaggerated, and you simply have to ease off of that feeling a little bit to find the middle of the face. So again, take the setup for the shot you've got, use a similar length of backswing, but pause just before impact with the heel of the club lined up with the golf ball. So once you've done a few practice swings, you've felt the distance between you and the club increase, you've seen the result, which is the ball is now in line with the heel, it's time to hit a shot.